Hi, my name is Melody Garcia. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Salt Lake, Utah. Thank you for joining me today and my friends. Their links are below, so once you're done with my video, go click on their links and you can enjoy some more fun ideas. Today's challenge was autumn decor. Let's get started. Today's challenge was inspired by our autumn garlands. I'll insert a picture here. However, we're not making garlands. I purchased it. Have I put it together? Not yet. I mean, you're more than welcome to purchase it. Maybe by November 5th, I will put it together. I just haven't done it yet because I've been like a grown-up and having to do grown-up things, not totally crafting all the time. However, when I looked at that picture, I looked at the elements and kind of some design details that I liked about it. And I thought, if I didn't have this, how could I do something autumn decor-y, kind of like this? Which got me to thinking. I purchased the Gathering Moments stamp set and dies that I'm in love with. Last week, I think I used Expressing Heartfelt Gratitude. I love the little font and the wording on this, but we also have really cool dies that go with our stamp sets for some of them. And we're not using, well, we're using 2 of the dies. We're not stamping it all. I know it was a little tricky, but we're not stamping it all. We're using paper, dies, and some other projects, okay? But I just wanted to show you the dies. These stamps down here, we don't have dies for the sayings, but the images down here, we have a die for all of those. Dun, 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 dun. Let me magically show you. So here are the dies. We have an acorn, a mushroom, a bigger leaf. I don't know if these are supposed to, I'm not sure what those are supposed to be. Little berry, they reminded me of holly berries, even though it's not a winter Christmas holiday set. I'm like, ooh, I could use that in a different set that I have. And then like 2 skinny leaves. But wait. Oh, you just wait. This is where this is not the inspiration. We're not using these, but I wanted to show you what the dies were. This is where the inspiration came from. Are you sitting down? Look how cute these are. Look how cute. They're huge. Part of me, and maybe I should call Stampin' and say, I need something in between. Because I love these and I love the stamping. Because it just kind of that worn edge, or distress, that's the word, distress thing. But I'm like, I need a leaf between this size and this size to do ultimately what I dreamed of. But it's okay. We are actually using these for our project, this size for our project. I should have die cut. Oh, hold on. I can show you this because, so there, with these dies, there is the outline, which is this. Oh, just kidding. Well, we're going to put that right there. You can just cut out the outline, but then there's an insert where you can get the dots. I've seen some creative Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that actually took the linen thread and threaded it through the holes. I like the holes. It just gave another element, okay? So we're going to use the dies. There's a maple and oak. Don't quote me. Let me know if you know. I think it's oak. I should have probably looked that up. So I decided I wanted a little bit different colors, but I also wanted some other design details. So I took out our Gathering Together DSP and I cut. Now this one has our whole bunch of leaves with the mushrooms and the gold stuff. Love that. But I decided I wanted to use this side. But I just cut 5. Well, let's see. I cut a whole bunch. And oh my gosh, look at that side. I love that side. Of course, they're all this green, this old olive with the gold. I'm not a gold person. However, in this combination, I'm like, love it. And then early espresso, that's like a distressed wood. And then we have this plaid. And then this gold basic beige with, well, it's actually champagne. But I believe the leaf is this, no, well, kind of. I think this is the closest one. But there's champagne embellishments, not embellishment, champagne designs that pop it, make it pop of that leaf. And then we have, the basic beige, and they look like little squares. I cut, look at all this fun stuff that we're going to use this. Okay. So let's prep our leaves. So my holiday decor involves leaves. Let's get that prepped. I just cut a whole bunch. I'm going to mix and match. I also, the color that I showed you with the examples, that's crushed curry. I also wanted early espresso and Cajun craze. The cool thing about, well, there's lots of cool things about Stampin' Up. Where do I start? With our DSP, it will actually tell you all of the colors that's used. So it's not a guessing game. You're like, is that pumpkin pie or Cajun craze? Is that daffodil delight? Is it darling dunkling, or is it crushed curry? So it'll actually tell you what colors. And I wanted to pull in, there was lots of beige in the paper, and I just wanted to pull in a couple colors. Okay. So what you're going to do is we need some twine. I did look at our twine, but it wasn't thick enough. So I just purchased this off of Amazon, but you could go to your local craft store. We are going to hang our leaves. So we're going to gently slide this over, and depending on, well, first of all, hold on. I'm like, how do I do this? Let me show you what else you need. Except I'm pretty sure I can't get into the picture frame. We need a picture frame. Okay, you're going to take, look, my hand can go through. You're going to take out the glass or the plastic in my case. I also purchased this from Amazon. I love the little distress look. I was a little nervous after I decided which one I wanted, and I was like, ugh, is it really going to match? I was hoping it would match Early Espresso. It actually does pretty good. And the basic beige, it's not quite white, but it matched my color scheme. But of course, I could have gone to like the thrift store and bought one and painted it if I wanted to, but due to time management, my lack of time management, I was like, you know what, I need to get some other things from Amazon. Let's just grab these to do our project. So you need a picture frame. This is 11 by 14. I just debated about going bigger. I probably would have gone bigger. However, for the space in my home, I think this will be fine to, and you could showcase this all of the autumn season. So I feel until like, well, I know September's a little early, but October, November, this could be displayed in your home because it's very fallishy. Okay. So this, we need leaves cut out, and we need some twine and some scissors. So I went with, and this, depending on your picture frame, I think I'm going to use 7. Our eyes like odd numbers. And so I can start with 5, but I feel like my picture frame just needed a little bit more. But when we get to that point, my thought process, let's see if it looks okay. So this is on the last chance sale, which makes me so sad. I hardly got to use, I mean, I use it all the time, but as far as crafting with my club members and doing videos, I didn't really get to use it. It comes in a pack of 3 with a long skinny oval and then like a tag. Oh, I would show you, but I don't know where the other ones are. But then this actual tiny 1/8 hole punch. I love it because it's tiny. It folds up. I have the other one somewhere, but I just struggled like putting my punches together, and I love how the size is. And who knows, maybe I was the only one that loved it, and that's why it's on the last chance sale. So, but you just need a little hole punch. I didn't want the regular size hole punch. That's why I went with this size. One, because of my twine. However, if you have thicker twine, go for the bigger size. Okay. So I'm just going to take one of these, and we're going to first actually get your colors, decide what, if you want, the mixture, decide. So I'm going to take my 3 solids. So there's my 3, and then I'm going to do 7. So with our paper, we do have this side. Love it, but it kind of looked weird for a leaf. So I'm going to use that side. I'm going to use, the green side. And, I think I'm going to use I'm kind of into plaids now. This week I was exposed to someone maybe getting their nails done. And I was like, that's so cute. I think I'm going to do the plaid. However, I'm going to use this shape because I want different shapes on there. I don't remember how many of those are, but we'll start with that. So kind of pick out your color scheme. And if you're like, ooh, it's too, oh, look, it's 7. I can count. 3,000 points for me. Let's see what's on this side. Oh, nope, we're good. I think that'll be okay if I mix and match. And if not, I have more cut that I can switch out once I put it together and if I don't like it. Okay, so I'm going to take my baby hole punch and I'm just punching a hole. There is a little space right there, so don't punch right at the bottom. But I'm just going to punch a hole so there's a little tiny hole. Probably a little bit longer. Let's do another one. Just a little bit more into the space. That way your twine has something to hold on to. But pretend I went, oh my gosh, we are struggling, struggle bus. We're going to go over here and punch this side. So a little bit more, ignore that part, this part right here, where there's a little bit more space for your twine to hold. Okay, so punch, and you can put them different ways. So they're hanging, we're going to hang them. So hanging different ways. So once you have them punched, let's do, and then you have, oh, look how fun. This would be fun for shaker cards if you want to keep track. And this one right here, these ones have little tiny dots. Okay, this would probably be ridiculous to keep track of. But I was like, where are all these dots coming from? Found them. It was on from this. It was like all over my pants. And I'm like, when did I get into yellow circle stuff? It's when I was crafting. Okay, so punch all of your holes right there. And then you are going to take twine. And this is where it depends on what size of your frame. I know some of us do not like to waste stuff. I went with a little bit longer than I thought I would need. However, I did not have all of my leaves hanging at the same level. So it's totally up to you. You can measure. I measure with my heart because that's how I roll. Now my frame is 11 by 14. And, oh, why am I putting against the twine? I had one extra one. So this is the size I started with, but I knew I didn't want them all hanging out. So about 11 inches, but depending on your size of frame, you might want it longer, you might want it shorter. I think this would be super cute in a 8 by 11. Not as many leaves because it's smaller. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to thread my twine in, and this is super tiny. If you're like, what is that picture frame and what was that twine, give me, either text me or call me, or put a comment below and I can give you the exact links. But I'm just going to tie a knot, but I'm going to double knot it just like this. Okay, just like that, but be gentle so you don't rip your paper. Now, our cardstock is going to be thicker than our DSP paper. So that is thicker, so just be gentle. Don't get too crazy with it, okay? So you're gonna do that with all 7 of them. And then you need to determine which way you want your picture frame. So pretend I've done all 7 of them. But due to time, I don't think you need to watch me do that. Okay, so I did my picture frame horizontally. When I was looking, oh, pre-K pause, I totally forgot. So the challenge was from our autumn garlands. However, I was like, I already have that. Let's make something different. So I started looking around and I was looking at some fall stuff for another project. And I ran across a version of this that people were selling for like $30. And I was like, what? Because you could just use an old picture frame, paint it, and I know that involves time, but you could paint it, and I was just like, really? 30? And I was like, I think I could make that. That's where this inspiration came. However, does that make sense? You need to decide if you want to go horizontally or if you want to go vertically. Okay, so you make that decision. I chose to go horizontally. I did try it vertically when I was getting stuff ready to make sure I had everything ready. I did try it vertically, but I didn't like how long my strings were. So I flipped them, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I could add more colors of the leaves. Now, the next step is to take a piece of twine, and it needs to be a little bit longer than your picture frame. Okay, so because what we're going to do, that's okay, I'll get that later, is we are going to tie it around, and I'm going to double knot it, just like that. And if this is a little bit long, that's okay, you can trim it off. It's kind of like when you cook. Always putting it on for the least amount of time, because you can always add time. You can't take away time. So here's another decision maker that you need to have. You need to decide how long and how far you want it to, the twine to fall down. And I know this might not make sense. Let's trust the process. Once you're done, you're like, oh, that makes sense. So I did make mine a little bit longer. So I got like this much extra. However, I'm not going to trim it until I know for sure that's how long I want it. So it is a little trial by error. Don't trim your little clothesline until you know if it's long enough or short enough. Because sometimes when you put things together, you're like, oh, that's going to look fine, at least in my perspective, and then they hang down and they hang past where you want it to be seen. Okay, so, but we can finish that at the end. Now we have 7 flowers. Again, we're doing an 11 by 14. What you're going to do is decide which order you want the flowers. Try leaves. I've got flowers on my brain. Try the leaves. You need to put what order. Like if you feel like there's too many dark colors on one side and not enough on the other side, remember it is two-sided. I did separate my solids between my pattern papers because I felt like, oh, hold on, sorry. I thought I had them all laid out how I like them. Yeah, that looks good. But I guess I was playing with them. Okay, so I'm going to put them in this order. I'm now going to take my string right here, and I started with the middle one, which would be this little maple leaf, and I'm just going to tie it where I think it's going to hang. But remember, it's going to hang down because we're laying it flat. So again, don't trim off this until you are committed. You're like, yep, I like that. Okay, so I just made well, and then I did that one a little tight. I just made one knot, and then once I decide that this is the perfect length and I'm ready to go, I will go back and double knot them. I started with the middle, and then I went to both sides, and I just worked out. Now, if you tie it really, really tight, it's hard to slide them back and forth, and I want to be able to make sure once the leaves are hanging that it does look good. And if we do it too tight, you have to unwrap it and then retie it. So just a single one. And then I can move them along. And it is a little tricky to, I think, see. So once I got them on there, go ahead and flip it up, put it so it's sitting where it's going to be hanging, and then you can decide if things are too long or too short. Okay, and I actually went, I think a curve is going to look the best. So like that. Oh, and I'll tie this one. And the very last one. Okay, now once I have them all tied, I'm going, which is hard to videotape, but I'm going to sit it up. I'm going to sit it up like this on my flat surface to make sure the leaves are where I'm hanging them. So hold please. Or the leaves are where I want them to be hung. Figure out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so pretty much they're all the same length. And I want this one to kind of be the furthest down. and then this one, and then this length. So I need to actually retie really fast. I'm going to retie it and take more off of it because I don't want it that long. But I want it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to commit it there. And do. I think it was just the crushed curry one. I'm just going to slide that up. And then I'm going to double check one more time. Ooh, perfect. Okay, well, that was a lie. Just kidding. The crushed curry that I just pulled up, maybe that one was already correct. Bring it down just a little bit. There we go. Double check it. I'm just putting the edge. Oh, look how cute that is. I'm just putting the edge of the frame, so this part right here, on a flat surface. And now, and I'm good with my clothesline right here, so I am going to trim off my ends. So let's actually start in the middle. I'm going to trim off these. I'm going to leave a little bit because it is hanging, but I'm going to just trim. Oh, hold on. Before you trim, go ahead and double knot them. I might have to bring that one up just a little bit, but that's okay. We'll fix it. And then go ahead and cut all of those.
But don't tangle them up. Okay, those ones are done. Okay, and then while I'm doing the last two, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me trim them. But our next step, oh, just kidding. I'm going to hurry and trim them. Because if not, I will be like, let's just move to the next step. And then you're like, that looks weird. So just leaving a little tail. Just like that. Okay, so
of course, if you want to measure it out before you cut your twine, I didn't think that far ahead, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to make them the same length. Okay. And then you can also trim off this piece. Okay, so my next step is could potentially slide up and down, and I feel like it needs one more design element to it. So I'm going to make a double bow. So and you can just do a single bow. I started with just a single, and I felt like it just needed a little bit more oomph. So I'm like, let's do a double bow. So to do a double bow, you are going to put, and you can use ribbon and twine and linen thread to do this. I love double bows. I don't know who taught me how to do double bows, but ever since I'm like, let's do some double bows. So I'm just going to start it like it is just a single bow. So there's my little loop, and here's going to be my tails. I'm going to wrap it around and pull it through. And then I'm going to adjust for the length that I want in my bow part. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to trim it off. Now I'm going to make 2 of these, and then we're doing so well with cutting today. That totally. I'll just cut that one off. It's okay that it's a little bit shorter. It gives it personality. Okay, so we're done with our twine. So now, because this is going to slide up and down, I thought it needed a bow, but I'm also going to glue it down. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and no, we don't sell this, but I highly recommend a cordless one. This has been so nice, a game changer. I'm going to glue right there. I don't know why I just made a sound for you. And then I'm going to stick my bow so it sticks. And then I'm going to glue over here. And I'm getting the, well, don't stick your fingers in it. This is where our nice, neat scissors There we go. Okay. So you're going to glue on your bow. Now, it looks kind of funky like this, but let's go hang it up. And this is the finished product. The one that I saw and got the inspiration from, it actually was sitting on a table or a mantle. So depending on where you have space, because my door's white, I feel like it blends in. I actually do want to clean off my mantle after some holidays get finished and put it up there. Thank you for joining me. I'm hoping you got some inspiration for this project. And remember, there's inspiration all around you. You might see something and say, oh, I could do this. Think about what words are hard. Crafting products that you have at your house and maybe things that you can combine together. Again, look everywhere for inspiration. I hope you have a great week. Again, go click on my friends April and Nancy and potentially a surprise person. Link below to see some more home holiday autumn decor. Next week, please join us. We are doing a project about gratitude, which I'm super excited to share with you. Have a great week. Go find your joy and get your craft on. Bye.